Hello, everyone. I am Shara Carvajal, and I teach the World Literature class, and I'll be teaching it this spring. It's English 2110. So if you're in here, you're probably an an education major who is transferring to VSU, and you are in luck because that means when you get to VSU as part of this transfer that you already have taken World Literature, and that's something that's required of all VSU graduates in any major whatsoever. So we're going to be navigating through the early part of world literature. We're actually going to end with the Renaissance. But since this is my specialization, I'm hopefully going to be able to walk you through this in a pretty fun way. But I do want you to see kind of how to navigate through all of these things so that you know where to go and what to do and how to get there. The very most important thing is that you go to your Start Here in your Connect. And this is the same, it looks the same as it does in every single class, but go to the Welcome and Getting Started. And in there, there's actually a welcome to English 2110. You've already accessed the video of how to navigate. That's what this video is, how to navigate through English 2110. Make sure you also watch the longer video of why you must not use AI in my class, because I give a pretty good presentation of what the pitfalls of AI are. So make sure you do that as well. Once you've done that, once you've watched those two videos, this one, the one you're currently watching, and the other one, then check out the syllabus. And the syllabus can be downloaded or printed or both. But then I also give you a separate document that just has the last 2 pages of the syllabus in it, and that's where you can get the schedule of what's due when. But the important thing is too, and this is something to keep in mind as you go through here, is once you've done that and you've gone through gotten your syllabus and schedule, and then there are actually ways to access online tools, including tutoring and things like that. But then you need to go into your confirmed course enrollment and you need to go, hey, I want to do all of this. And there are several questions. It's not like traditional. In fact, there are 10 questions to this in my classes. And many of them involve things like I've read the syllabus and I have I see the course due dates. I know I've done the Blackboard Ultra orientation. I understand that I have to email my teacher through the Wiregrass account and blah, 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 blah. And it goes on. I don't use AI. I'm not going to plagiarize. I'm going to do all my own work, blah, 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 blah. And so you just confirm your course enrollment. Once you do that, it's going to be graded and all will be well. The other thing that you can do is check out the work ethics, although, and I don't really need to show you that, but just check out all of those elements. And then you can even go in, if you want to do this before you confirm your course enrollment, that's fine. But we're going to have 3 modules in this class: Ancient World Literature, Medieval World Literature, and then Renaissance World Literature. We'll spend most of the biggest of the 3 units and the longest one is Ancient World Literature, mainly because it's probably going to be a lot of things. Honestly, all of these will be things you haven't read before, but they're all interesting, and most of my students really enjoy almost everything that we read, even though it's a bit difficult. But let's just an example, let's go into the first module. And in the first module, all of the modules will be the same. You can't see all of them because you can't see the exam, for instance. But the module includes a folder for readings, and that includes all of the links that you're going to need to access any of the literature in any of this stuff. But then it also has a list of journals for module. You click into that folder, and there are going to be more than this, but it starts with the Oedipus the King journal. In fact, it even has its due date listed, which matches the schedule. And so you're going to go in here and do the reading. And the readings are actually, I have more than you're going to have to do. So I leave this so that if someone else teaches this class, they can assign whatever they like from it. But it includes, like, we're going to do Oedipus the King is the first one we're going to do, or Oedipus Rex. And then we're going to read some of the Iliad. And then we're going to read some of Job, actually. And then we're going to read some of the Metamorphoses, and we're going to read the Tao Te Ching, or parts of the Tao Te Ching. Now, we are not reading all of these works and all of each one of them because they are really long. Many of these are epic poems, and they would take weeks and weeks and weeks to read through, even if you were just doing so for fun. So if you want to know what to read, always go to the journals first. And each journal is going to be labeled Oedipus the King journal. So you need to go and read Oedipus the King or Oedipus Rex. And then after you've read it, you complete the journal. Now the journals too, and I'll go in here so you can see it. Each journal has a set of questions. These are not optional questions. So it says answer the following questions in a minimum of 250 words. The understood part of this is that AI is not to be used for any of this, of course, but you'll also get that from the other video. But it tells you exactly when it's due. And all you have to do is essentially go in, attempt the assignment, answer each question as fully as possible. Notice that it says in a minimum of 250 words. If you quote anything, if you give me examples from the text, it's going to be really, really easy to have at 250 words. Some of you will find out that it's hard for you to turn in a journal that's less than 500 words, but that's just going to make it easier for you to write papers when we get to it. The other thing that you need to understand once we get through the journals is at the end of every unit, we're going to have an exam over the ancient world or the medieval world or the Renaissance world. And that will be over all of our readings. It could be over the videos that we do to supplement the readings. It could be over questions I've asked in the journals that you should have been able to answer. And then you're also going to write a paper. Now the paper is a little bit different. It's actually a developmental sort of essay. So the very first essay, and I can even show you this, in the essay assignment, the very first thing is that I'm going to make it a little bigger so it's easier to see. But your part one is due at the end of unit 1. So you will write about one work on a given theme, and you can choose any of these themes, or you can have you can choose a theme of your own if you want to, but you're choosing one work and showing how it exhibits that particular theme. What characters does it come through? How does the plot, modify the theme? How does it do all of this kind of stuff? And then once you turn that in, you'll get feedback from me. And then you will, for paper 2, at the end of the medieval period, you will write a revision of the first part and add another work from the medieval period. And so you're just finding another work that also has that theme and looking at how it shows that theme and how maybe the viewpoints have changed over time, because the medieval world is a very different world than the ancient one. And then for part 3 of the essay, it's really the third essay, that's going to be a revision of parts 1 and 2, and then an addition of a third work from unit 3. And so essentially you are, by the end of the class, you will have one very long research paper, but it's a research paper that's comparative literature. And it's one of the best kinds of research writing we do, especially in humanities and English. And so it's going to set you up well for comparative analyses going forward as well when you go into more academic work. So it's actually meant to not only develop slowly, and I'll give you extensive feedback with each part, but it also makes it so at the end you have a really solid research paper that you can be super proud of. So those are really the elements that, everything's going to be in exactly the same format. So we're always going to, you just open the new module, and then we'll have the group of readings, but you need to start with the journals. The journals will tell you what to go into as far as the readings from the ancient world. Once you've accessed all of those and completed all of the journals and gotten feedback from me, then you will take the exam and complete the research essay, part 1, for that module. Then in module 2, it's the same thing, just different readings. They're all going to be from the medieval period. Now they will be, some of things, all of them will be in English, and yet they will be essentially from all different parts of the world. We have some works from China, we have works from other parts of the Middle East, we have works from even the Americas. So we have, in the last module, when we finally, people quote unquote discover the Americas, we have quite a few Native American stories that they've collected into one reading. And but we also have works from other different European countries, and we have some stuff that was originally in Italian, and some stuff that was originally in French, and some stuff that was originally in something else. So I try to cover a lot of different writings, but I'm trying also especially to get into writings of the readings that you should know. If you've done a survey of world literature, these are things like Dante's Inferno. things that you should have read. And so we're going to make sure we brush upon as many of those things as possible. But if anything is a problem, like reading is a problem, I strongly urge you to either have something read out loud to you, use a reader, an e-reader, or read it out loud yourself, because that's probably the best way to deal with kind of older forms of language. And we have, the resources are all open resource, so all of the links are to online formats. And so you can also certainly choose to print off, a number of pages of a given work if you'd rather read it and highlight it on paper. And that's certainly open to you as well. All of them are printable. Some of the works, though, if you actually were to print it online, especially works like the Iliad and the Odyssey, they're so long, and we only read certain books within those documents. And so I would only print off those certain books. But that's the last I'll tell you for as far as that. So make sure, go through, do the welcome and getting started, watch this video, and finish watching this video, watch the other video on AI, then go through and confirm your course enrollment by Sunday so that we can get all of this stuff really going forward. And let me know. You can email me. My contact information is not only in the welcome and getting started right here, but you can use the email or give me a call in my office and ask me any questions you need. I'm pretty much available. I'm only teaching online this semester, so hey, go for it. If you have a question, you're probably not the only person who does, so please ask. Welcome to English 2110.